Hello everyone, my name is Surajit and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to show you how to build a Node.js microservice without writing a single line of code by using the GitHub Copilot. So we'll utilize the power of GitHub Copilot. So I will show you in this tutorial how to provide command to the GitHub Copilot so that the GitHub Copilot can generate the code or you don't need to do the heavy lifting task by yourself. So the GitHub Copilot will do this. So let's get started and let's see the magic of the GitHub Copilot. So first I will open the VS Code editor. Here I have the GitHub Copilot installed and here I open the GitHub Copilot chat prompt and here I am providing the command that create a Node.js microservice, use Express framework. And I will put mode like the create the boilerplate. So it will create the boilerplate means a skeleton of the Node.js microservice. So here you can see the output. Here it's gave me the proposed directory structure for the Node.js, and here I can click create workspace and I can create this uh, boilerplate. So you can see the node hyphen express hyphen microservice directory created, and inside the directory you will get the exact structure whatever mentioned here, the controller, routes, service, app.js, index.js, everything is there. You don't need to create the directory, create the file, and also you don't need to write the code there. So GitHub Copilot will create all for you. So if you see the our config here, it's config also provided. You can put a .env file into the root directory. Here you can mention the port db URI, or otherwise if you not mention, it will take the default one. Now I am asking how to run it, how to run the applications. Here GitHub Copilot will definitely suggest something. So it's reading the workspace, it's collecting information. And here we have to first install all the dependencies, whatever mentioned in the package.json. So the command is the npm install, and then we need to start the server by running the command npm start. Here you can insert this command to the terminal. You don't need to copy paste. But here we have the issue, no such file or directory. You can ask GitHub Copilot what is wrong here, and it will definitely suggest some solutions. You can copy the whole error log and you can paste in the chat. So here I did similar, and it's collecting workspace information. So here it's suggesting that I am running the npm from the wrong folder. I have to change the directory to our project folder, which is the node-express-microservice, and then I need to run the command npm install. So these commands I can insert into the terminal and run. So here you can see the server is running on 3000 port. Now I'll ask uh, how we can test the route. So here we can call any API here from Postman, or we can use the call command to hit the route here. So we have the /health route. So here it's recommending to create a test file to check the /health route. Or we can do like from the call command, we can request to this API and check. So I'll copy the command and I will open the terminal and I will hit the API by using the call. So I am opening the terminal. And here I will paste the command and hit enter. So here I am getting the 200 response. That's mean it's working fine. But we are not seeing any logs here. So I will ask Copilot to console the logs. Also put the logs into the log file. So here uh, it's recommending to install the Winston and the Morgan based middleware we can use, and we can plug it into the Expressor. So we'll uh, install the Winston and the Morgan package. So for this I'll open the another terminal by clicking the plus icon. You can see here another terminal open, and here I am installing the Winston and the Morgan. And next I will create the file whatever recommending by the GitHub Copilot. So the logger.js, it's requesting to create this file, and it's also requesting to create the file request logger.js. I'll also create it. Also, it's recommending to update some of the things here in the app.js, like use the middleware, the logger middleware. And here, whenever I am doing any changes to our project files, it's not restarting the server. So I'll ask GitHub Copilot to enable the feature so that it automatically start the server whenever there is any change to any of the source file of the project. We have the Node.js package for the development purpose. So we have to install the Node.js in the development work, and it's recommending the same. So I'll go to the another terminal and install this dev dependency. or I can stop the server and do here. Basically, after nodemon installation, we have to restart the server, and the command will not be the same as we done as for the production. So here you can see it's added things the dev, the script. So now we have to run the npm run dev instead of the npm start to start the server to watch any file changes. We also put the nodemon.json and mention for which file changes it will restart the server. And here you can see uh, npm run dev is working, server is starting on the port. And now if I put a space in the app.js and it's restarting due to the changes, so it's working. Next thing I will check the logger. So here we can see the logs. Here it's called the get/help. We can see the logs in the console. Also you can see the logs in our log file, the combined.log. We don't have any error, that's why we don't have the error log, but we have the info log here. Next thing I'll ask GitHub Copilot to add authentication routes and the auth middleware to this Node.js microservice. I will also ask to add the request for the middleware here. So here we need some of the package like the JSON web token bcrypt.js. So it's recommending to install them. So we have to install the dependency. I will go to the another terminal and I will insert those commands to install. So here you can see it's added to the terminal, and I will press enter to install the dependencies. And next I will add new files, whatever GitHub Copilot recommending, or if we need to update the existing files, we have to do. So here it's recommending to create this auth.js, and here you can see it's generating code on your own. So far I didn't write a single line of code. Everything actually GitHub Copilot is doing. I am just giving the GitHub Copilot the instruction what needs to do. Here it's recommending to create the auth.js into the route where we have all the routes defined. Next, it's recommending to create the controller, auth controller. Here it is where we will have the basic checking. And next, it's recommended to create the auth service.js, where actually we'll do the operations. Like in case of the registration, we'll store the user, and in case of the login, we'll check the user's valid or not, and according to we will provide him the or her the response. It's recommending to update the app.js here. So I am doing so. And also we need to update the package.json, like we have to add some packages. Anyway, whenever we run the npm install, it's automatically add those packages to the package.json. But anyway, we can do on or the GitHub Copilot also can update. Here I am also asking to integrate the Swagger so that we can test the APIs, whatever we have added so far, like the login registrations, these things. The Swagger will be helpful that it will create a interface, the UI interface, where all the APIs will be listing and they are the request body and all the things will be there, just like we can test the APIs. So here it's generating the Swagger spec files, and to integrate into our Node.js microservice, we need some of the packages like the Swagger UI Express and the Swagger JS docs. So I'm storing the dependency, and in the meantime, GitHub Copilot is creating the spec files, which will be rendered into the UI. Installation finished. Now I'll create the Swagger spec file. So here the Swagger.js file created, and the app.js modifier to integrate the Swagger spec files, and we have the route to run this spec. We have like the localhost 3000/docs. We can ask GitHub Copilot how to access the Swagger endpoint. So it's recommending to run the server. It's already running, and the endpoint is the localhost 3000/docs. So now I'll open this URL in my browser, and here it is, our Swagger API spec. And you can see we have the list of APIs like the health check, authentication, auth routes like the register new users, and the login, and also get the information of the logged in user. Here I'm trying to create a user or the registry user with the password and the user request, and you can see we have the success response at 201 created with the ID 1. Now I'll try to log in with this username and the password, and it will provide me the JWT code, JWT token, sorry. Here I'm trying to log in with the username. Sorry. Here I'm trying to access a route which is protected by the auth. We have the auth card. Without token, we can't access this route. So I am authorizing with this token. Now I am logged in with the username test. Now I can execute this route and you can see I'm getting my user information, and in the request, the header, the token is present. Now I need to check where actually the user information is storing. Uh, Basically, the MongoDB connectivity is still not there. So seems that it's storing in memory. So I am asking GitHub Copilot where you are storing the data. So here it's answer in memory map. It's storing. So it will be lost if we restart the server or we stop the server. And for the persistent storage, it's also recommending to integrate the MongoDB plus Mongoose. I already have the MongoDB installed in my machine. So here what I'll do, I'll just install the package like Mongo so that we can connect our MongoDB from this Node.js microservice. I applied the recommended code, but I didn't install the Mongoose. So I need to install the Mongoose package. Here it's saying the cannot find module Mongoose, and definitely GitHub Copilot will suggest to install the Mongoose package. So here it is. I'll go to the another terminal and I will install this Mongoose package, and it will, I think it will resolve our uh, issues, whatever error happening in the server. I would like to see the message that whenever the server will start, it will show me the MongoDB connection is established or not. So I'm asking GitHub Copilot, all server start, check the MongoDB connectivity successful or not. So here we have to apply this into the auth service. And here you can see the server starting verify MongoDB connectivity. Here we have some warning, but the MongoDB connection is successful. We can get rid of this warning. Just copy the warning and paste into the chat, and definitely GitHub Copilot will suggest. So here we have the updated code and we can apply. And here we don't have any warning, and it's logging as expected and server is running as expected. Now I'll register a new user and we'll see if it's saved into our MongoDB or not. So I'll put the username like Mongo user, and I'll put the password like the password. And here we have uh, the message that the user created. And here we also have the log. Now I'll open the MongoDB Compass. So whenever you will install the MongoDB, so you can get the MongoDB Compass to access the MongoDB from this kind of interface. Here you can see I am connecting to this local MongoDB and we have our database, my database, and we have the collection users, and here the newly created or registered user. Now I'll try to log in with the newly created users and we'll get the token Mongo user. First let me try with the wrong password, and here it's telling me that the credential is not valid. Now I'll put the valid credentials and I'll get the token. Now I'll log in with the token. Let's log out and put the token here. Now I logged in with this Mongo user, and if I get my information, I'm not getting. So I will ask GitHub Copilot to investigate this, that I am not getting the response, the expected response from the slash or slash me routes. So here it's telling the looks like middleware it's not waiting the async user lookup. So previously there was the in memory, that's why we don't have this async await uh, functionality. Like the database operations actually take some time, so we have to wait for his response and then we can provide the HTTP response. So it was not there. GitHub Copilot added for us, and now it should be good. Let's check it. So it's good. Now we can see the magic. It's fixed. We are getting the user information. So it's really amazing. So yeah, I didn't write any single line of code, but uh, GitHub Copilot did a great job to create this Node.js microservice along with the authentication and routes like the registration and the login, also the get logged in user. So I am also asking to create a UI page where I can register and log in, and at the same time it will integrate these APIs. So it will create a few HTMLs uh, so which we can render from the same server from the public folder. So here we have to just modify the app.js to serve the static file. So here it's recommending these changes. We can apply this, and from the UI also we can check the APIs. It will not be so stylic like whatever we say, but yeah, we can check the basic functionality actually. So I'm planning to create another front-end application using the Vue 3, where I'll generate the component or the UI for this server, so that we can call these APIs from this UI and we can check it. And this front-end application also I will create without writing any single line of code. The GitHub Copilot will do this. So here you can see it's created the register page, the register.html. Here we can register a user or create a new user. So here we have some CSS files, and whenever CSS files added, it's not reflecting on the server restart. So we need to stop the server and start again. So here, anyway, seems that it's not taking the style, whatever. Let's check the functionality here. I am trying with the Desmond 95 and the password. We don't have this user, that's why it's telling that the invalid credentials. So if I put the valid credentials and try to log in, so here it is, our current users. It's showing me the user details, and we can log out or we can go to the login page. It's created a basic HTML3 HTML page so that we can also test its APIs. So here it is. That's it for today's video. So I hope you enjoy the video and you able to see the magic of GitHub Copilot. If you really like the video or enjoy the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel and share the video. Thank you.